Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Dyker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning.
Welcome in, race fans. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Radio Man Dan Dyke, along with Billy Doc Niles and Paul the Penguin Reichert. Billy's trying to fight off a cold.
Yeah, it's you see, I got my water, I got my Halls here, I got my Tylenol, extreme cold. So I'm.
And I have back-to-back text messages from Kevin Ramsell and Kevin Ramsell and Kevin. Okay, Kevin, you got new glasses. Move on with your life.
I still got a cold.
This is true. Hey, big weekend racing last weekend. Another big one coming up this weekend. We do want to remind you, Crosse Speedway joining forces with the USO on Saturday night. Make sure that you get all those good protein yummies that the troops can eat in the field and bring a big bag in. The Speedway is going to be giving a free beverage coupon to someone that helps out. And you're also going to get a free souvenir program. It just came out I was going to bring mine. Just came out last weekend. Neat article on Mikey Carlson in there. Neat article on the crate motor, if you don't even know what a crate motor is. Talks about how we run races, all the different sponsors we have. I even have a big blurb I didn't know was going to be in it about my race day, what I do from 3 o'clock till the end of the races. And there's a lot of mentions of food in there for some reason.
Why does that
I'm not sure why.
No.
Talking about Crosse Speedway. Oh, it's also fan photo night tonight, autograph night out at the Speedway. Let's show you the last two from last weekend, and man, we could sit here for half an hour and show you exactly what was going on at Crosse Speedway. You had Lindsay Chalet pounding a wall, Randy Humfeld pounding the front straight wall, then the turn one wall. You had Tom Carlson and Ryan Brown doing one of the worst tangles I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
But the better excitement was in the last 3 laps of the late model race, in which Brent Kirshner was about to pick up a win over not only Steve Carlson, but Nick Panitsky.
Yep, but then along came Steve, got under Brent with 3 laps to go and drove away. Panitsky got by him for second, but Steve had checked out and ended Panitsky's streak at 3 straight.
And Kirshner tells us in post-race he now knows what his brand new late model can do. I would watch Billy Doc Niles for Brent Kirshner to start making some noise.
Well, that's that new car. He's steadily been getting faster with it. The thing that amazed me is Carlson readily admits he made a mistake on the last or second to last.
First
On the first restart, he went inside. They even asked him, like, wait a minute, that's not customary, Steve.
He picked the wrong lane, and he allowed Panitsky to get a couple of cars ahead of him. And if you watch this race, especially in the last 4 laps, you got Kirshner trying to hold them both off. Panitsky and Carlson side by side. Finally, Carlson makes some space underneath and ends up getting the win for the week.
To the sportsman we go. This one was pretty much all Tom Lethe and Chris Webber. Of course, we've talked a couple of times on Chris Webber's not-so-pleasant start to 2019. Didn't even see himself in the top 5 in the point standings until just after this past race. But it was a spirited battle, as you see the last 2 right here between Lethe and Webber. And, Paul, I think it's safe to say that I think Chris Webber is back to what the form he was in.
Yes, he is. Yes, he was definitely looking good out there. Great battle with him and Lethe there. Webber finally got under him with just about 2 laps to go and took off and claimed his victory.
And how about Mark Chalet? Great battle with Sam Niles in the heat race. Came up a little short there. Solid 3rd place in this feature. Looks like he's finally starting to pick his program up.
I heard DJing in Bangor Saturday night that his dad Russ just got him that motor. So I think Mark Chalet, we're going to see some different things of.
If last week is any indication, he should be something to deal with here the rest of the season. To
the hobby stocks we go. Charles Van Jr. surprised everybody at Tomah last Friday night, coming out in Tom Farrah's old car. I understand he bought Tom Farrah's orange 00. And as you see right here, it was a new name winning a feature. It's been a long time since Charles Van Jr. has won a feature at the Speedway, and he had to do it holding off Caleb Hardy. Now, of course, Andy Moore and Jason Bolster got into a tangle earlier in the night that sent them both to the off the track, and then back on. But then it came down to Vian and Hardy, and this was a spirited battle. I like what Caleb Hardy's attitude, his car, everything he's done on the track so far this year to stay on top of the point standings. And to see Charles Van Jr. outside of anything but an El Camino could play into the mix.
Yeah, that was strange to see him in Tom Farah's car, but he really had it going Saturday night.
The lasting image of Farah is that walk to the porta potty in the outhouse.
Magazine in hand, Sportsecki hanging off his shoes. Yeah, I guess Vian bought that car about a week ago. To the Hornets we go. The other Lethe, Mark Lethe, was pretty much stepping away from the field in this one. He started on the pole, as we show the last couple of laps, and a great car count, some great racing. I bet you I had about 9-0 here we goes going through that race there. Accidents and spin outs and whatnot. And Mark Lethe wins the race. Hold him up. Didn't find out until after I was done with my post-race late model interviews that for several different items, Lethe was DQ'd, and it went to 16-year-old Jaden Schock. Have I not called that in the tower?
You have called that. You said she was going to win at least one this year, and some phenomenal moves by her the last couple of laps. First to take third place, then to take second place. And she was catching Lethe there that last lap. But, as fate would have it, the tech man dropped the hammer, and she ends up in victory lane with her first career feature.
And I think you called it when you had her on the show here a few weeks ago, too.
Said she was going to get a feature race win within the next 3 weeks of having her on the program, so it's Radio Karma, TV Karma again. Billy Doc summed up the weekend the best he could, though, from a guy that couldn't win a feature in a late model and got a nickname he calls, this is great, he calls Jaden Schock Miss Technicality.
Well, that's,
I loved it.
A mutual friend of ours from a local radio station dubbed me Mr. Technicality, so I just, until she wins one outright, we'll just nickname her Miss Technicality.
Passing the love. As soon as Bill told me that watching the replay over the weekend, I was dying sitting there reading what he was telling me. Let's show you the last lap of the double spin to win. This was pretty much over with the top three drivers. I would say 4 laps in.
Yeah, I think so. About 4 laps, yeah.
Sean McCarthy did a heck of a job. I think it was Sean, was he? Yeah, it was Sean.
Leading John Hebner for 5 or 6 laps.
He got around them tires the fastest of anybody the first time around and just put some distance between him and the rest of the field.
We're going to show you the entire double spin to win novelty race at the end of the program. When we come back, Tomah Sparta Speedway. Great highlights coming from that track as well. That's next on K2EG TV.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Spring is sprung, the grass is riz, and Big Boar Food Truck is back in biz. Yes, the Northside Food Truck at George and Gillette Street is back in business. Stop by for lunch or dinner, enjoy our pulled pork, chopped brisket, fresh cut fries, sweet potato fries, cheese curds, and our own baked beans and coleslaw. Watch for ribs and chicken on select days. Big Boar is back at George and Gillette, and still a delicious mouthful.
Yeah!
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Building a Higher Standard Award winner. Call Carey today for your free estimate.
Welcome back, race fans. Seven Wars Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles. I'm Radio Man Dan Diker. I want to thank the people that are right behind us, too, for making that fantastic banner. We forgot to talk about Back 40 Wraps, and Epic Media. Boy, they do a nice job. They're on a lot of cars, too. Paul wouldn't get out of the way.
Because you didn't introduce me.
You didn't introduce him.
Well, that's Paul. Paul's had an attitude here the past 3 weeks, so we're kind of sliding Paul.
I think he's mad because we put him in the naughty corner all the time.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
He acts up again. He's going back in the naughty corner. A lot of people ended up in the naughty corner at the Tomah Sparta Speedway last Friday night. It was sponsor night for these 6 shooters. Of course, the top billing driver got an extra $100 to show you the last 2 laps from this one right here. Tristan Drzkowski, we all saw how beatered and battered and then slammed into the turn 4 wall his car was. We didn't think he was ever going to get that thing back out. He did it in a week. And I tell you, it was Draz versus Murphy versus Fry.
Yep, and Dan Fry took the lead a couple laps in, and, man, he just checked out on everybody. And you wanted that $100 bonus? A lot more there.
Tristan Drazkowski runs also at lacrosse, says, man, he's never had a better time racing his entire life than he did at lacrosse. And then he throws in Friday night. He says he could not find himself doing anything else on a Friday or Saturday night than racing at both those tracks with all these great six-shooter drivers. To the modifieds we go, man, I tell you what, when the qualifying came around, we thought we were going to have a great field. Heat races came around, thought we were going to have a great field, except for Darren Sato. He blew up motor number 5. The fifth one he's blown up in 3 years.
Holy cow, that's...
the Flying Finlander. Man,
Jeremy Wagner should talk.
Yeah, no kidding. Remember, they're getting him from the same motor guys up north. But, the Flying Finlander, Darren Sato, and I wish we would have had the video. So mad on the front straightaways. Gloves thrown off, steering wheel thrown off. He almost hit the winner's circle board with his helmet, then chucked it back into his car. Man, he was mad. Nick Quinnell got a feature win this year. Also had a bow out, came back out after the heat race. That car wasn't performing well, so we had a two-man show after it was all said and done. Paul Brown and the wild man Brad Wilds, and those two put on one heck of a show.
Yeah, they went neck and neck for all 15 laps. Great to see Paul's car finally all vinyled up, and Paul ended up claiming the victory.
First one of the year for Paul Brown, of course, your 2018 track champion there at the Tomah Sparta Speedway. Brad Wilds has had his car in contention, if not winning, almost every single weekend. Let's go on to the Sportsman. This was the best Sportsman field and race we've had all year. Matter of fact, it made Rick Porter's staff pick for that entire race to go on Facebook this week. And Greg Borchert has come down 3 consecutive weeks. Billy Doc Niles, you know this. Now at La Crosse Speedway, we had 2 Borcherts. Now we have all 3 of them.
That's awesome.
Racing at Tomah, and he's liking that trip from Prior Lake, Minnesota.
And in 3 weeks, he's already put himself in contention. He's only 22 points out of first place, sitting in a solid third, and he's really, like you just said, he's really loving the short track here in Tomah.
Came down to between Borchert and Jake Schiller again, and what happened in the heat race was almost identical to what happened in the feature. Both of them are pretty much like this around the entire racetrack. Then Greg Borchert goes on for the win. He also hops out and rings the victory bell. For the hobby stocks, has Andy Moore lost a hobby stock?
He's won all 4 of them this year.
Yet.
No.
Has he lost a heat race? Yet.
No.
Has he not qualified fastest yet?
He has.
Who got him there? I think Tom Farr might have got him in week 2.
Probably, yeah.
That sounds about right. I think
Has he
Tom
lost
Farr
a
got him.
feature in 2 years is the question.
No, he's been out there for a year and a half. He brought that Burroughs race car, Derek Swire, Burroughs car out there last year and just started dominating. Mike Krieger, though, is going to be like Raymond Hardy. See, Raymond Hardy and Charles Van Jr. got into a little bit of a melee, and then it happened again under the caution, so bye-bye cars. Yeah. Hardy makes it back out, too far behind. Mike Krieger and Andy Moore make this an interesting one here. And as we were talking the other divisions, Mike Krieger could steal a win or 2 away from Andy this year.
He could, yeah. He's got a good car.
That Krieger car is fast. That's the one that Jason Stark set the track record across with a couple of weeks ago. So that is not a slow car by any means.
Mini Stocks race was won by Mr. Paul Finch and the Hornets. They had a nice collection of Hornet cars out there again. And Dan Fry started towards the back of this one, and we had 7 lead changes in 9 laps. And Fry got the win.
Yeah, a great battle in the Hornets. I had to feel for Jaslyn Meyer. I mean, she led most of the way in that.
She's got the win. She's got 1 lap to go, and she'll pick up her first ever feature race win and a little bump and run in turn 1. Set her sailing.
Yeah, well, then he tried to get by to steal the way win from Jaslyn, but and I thought Jaslyn was going to pull it off somehow.
But I talked to Jaslyn afterwards. She's all of, 16, 17 years old, as we were having some tall, cool beverages. And she said, Dan, that's just part of racing. And her dad was right there.
Wow.
What a great attitude. Tuffy Meyer and the entire, Harry Meyer, Tuffy, the Meyer family's been racing, 30, 40 years. And it's trickling on down to Jazzy Meyer now. And loved seeing that kind of a comment. I mean, that is exactly what you do after a race.
I think she could teach a certain young lady in the K&N West Series.
Oh, don't ask Derek Crosse about that one. When we return, of course, it's TomahSpartaSpeedway.com. They just got there with a fan photo night like La Crosse has this weekend. We're going to show you the entire 8 lap double spin to win flagpole race when we come back on Seven Rivers Racing.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Are you ready for the Ultimate Platter Challenge? Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. Our Ultimate Platter is loaded with pork, brisket, chicken, ribs, 3 sides, and 4 slices of bread. If you can eat it all, it's yours free. I'll even give you a certificate for another one you can share with your friends. So how about it? You ready to take the challenge? Stop by, check out the rules, and dig in. And oh yeah, that's a mouthful.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Building a Higher Standard Award winner. Call Carey today for your free estimate.
We're back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. This guy has got some of the best jokes during commercials. It's not even funny. Next time you see Paul, you at Tomah Sparta Speedway, walking mile,
I thought I
across,
heard jokes. Wow.
ask him about the Tilt-A-Whirl. Man, the vision I got up that during the break was outstanding. You know what, Billy Duck Niles, the big race at the Crosse Speedway last weekend was similar to 2 Tilt-A-Whirls. One in the front straightaway, one in the back straightaway.
Yeah, this was a little twist Chuck decided to add to the double spin to win. It's similar to the flagpole race, as some people pointed out, but still it was an exciting race, and we're going to show it to you right now. Here's last week's, I wanted to say flagpole race. Here's last week's double spin to win.
Will be Bornitz and Leapsch, row 4. Should be Malin and Chalmers. Row 5 will be Malin and Stanfield. Bjorkman in the back row. Six laps, you've got to spin around both tires, front straightaway and back straightaway.
$11 cars going to be involved here.
Now this is going to be tight. Let's see what happens as we're back up front at a turn forward green. It's laps 2 and 4 that they've got to spin around the tires. Laps 2 and 4, they must spin around the tires. Stanfield jumps to the top spot, being chased out by McCarthy. Now you've got to do some spinning here. Now it gets interesting. Laps 2 and 4, you've got to do this. McCarthy survives, as does Hebner and Stanfield. Oh, Malin chopped off by Chalmers. Stanfield is yet to go around, as does Bjorkman. Now they're going to go around and do a little dance in the back straightaway. We need a do-si-do song playing while this is going on. Do-si-do your partner. Sean the Joker McCarthy's got the lead. Look at how slow this is developing. Your leaders are coming on the back straightaway. Watch out. Got to spin now. McCarthy's going to throw it in there. Hebner's going to try to get closer to the tire. Stanfield Leapsch. I'm getting dizzy calling this thing. Somebody sit me down. Surviving that one so far is McCarthy, Hebner, Stanfield, Leapsch, and Berg. That's your top 5. Next time we're doing this, we're playing do-si-do music, like Cotton Eye Joe or something. Leapsch is on the move to the inside of Stanfield. Oh, and developing a little bit of a slowdown problem. White flag's going to come out for Sean Joker McCarthy in his 92 all-out repair performance Acura Integra if he can survive this turn. Hebner couldn't get to the inside. Now, if you're not in the top 5 of this, you're pretty much just watching everybody else. Checker flag in hand. It's Sean McCarthy, your double spin to win winner. Hebner second, Stanfield third, Berg fourth. And at the line, ooh, that's going to be close. Looks like Leach will round out the top 5. What'd you think of the double spin to win race, fans?
And there was a great win there for the Joker, Sean McCarthy, with those neon lights under his car and that Joker flag
going on.
Yeah.
Flag out this weekend.
And like we stated in the first segment when we were going through our events of last week, I mean, he was the fastest through those first 2 tires, and he just put some distance between him and the rest of the field. It was pretty much over from there.
The thing is, you can be that one inside car that tries to cut that tire as low as you can, but you get slower the closer to the tire you get. So you've got to stay in the middle of the distance.
You got to swing out. You want to keep your momentum up. You got to swing out. You just can't cut the tire.
They're smashing a piano at the Crosse Speedway this weekend. We're going to see if we can get about 4 different camera angles of this thing.
Am I driving?
No, but I heard Paul's going to be inside with the tinkling keys.
I am not. No.
Paul said, I want to take the team Chuck. Let me do what I can.
No.
Either that or you're going to be laying on top of the piano like this.
No.
That rubber ducky that Jan Mazelski was giving away.
Really is going around him, knocking you off of the piano. That's going to do it for this week's program. I want to thank you, Big Boar Barbecue. It was cloudy last week, but I still made it up to twice for lunchtime. The burnt ends and the pulled pork are still simply fantastic. And Gary Heating and Air Conditioning did quite a bit of work on my hotel this week, so we're going to talk to those guys.
It's getting warm out. Give them a call and get that air conditioner tuned up.
He said they are packed the past 2 weeks. As soon as they got to 87, they were getting a lot of phone calls. I want to thank Gino Collectibles and the glasscover.com, fanswinging.com. They've got the shirts right there, and Back 40 Rocks and Epic Media. For Billy Doc Niles and the Penguin, Paul Reichert. Didn't forget it this time. I'm Radio Man Dan Dyker. We'll see you next week right here on TV. It's KQEG TV.
You've been watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Dyker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Spring has sprung, the grass is riz, and Big Boar Food Truck is back in biz. Yes, the Northside Food Truck at George and Gillette Street is back in business. Stop by for lunch or dinner, enjoy our pulled pork, chopped brisket, fresh cut fries, sweet potato fries, cheese curds, and our own baked beans and coleslaw. Watch for ribs and chicken on select days. Big Boar is back at George and Gillette, and still a delicious mouthful.
Yeah.